Hello everyone, this is Enea here, and in today's tutorial I'll teach you how to create this Japanese plum flower pattern, known in Japanese as ume pattern. This is a traditional Japanese pattern which represents endurance and perseverance. As I explained in my previous tutorials, in order to create a pattern for a pattern fill, we first need to identify the tile that repeats itself throughout the composition. In this particular pattern, identify the following tile that I highlighted with a black rectangle. The key to identifying a tile in a pattern is that it must start at the top, where it ends at the bottom, and it must start on the left, where it ends on the right. So this is what we're going to seek to create. And this is what the tile will look like after we have created and exported it. Alright, so to get started, we go to File New, and we create a new composition. We give it 1000 by 1000 pixels in dimensions. And then we go to the Margin tab, and we uncheck Include Margin, and we click on Create. And then we make sure that Snapping, Snap to Spread, Snap to Object Bounding Boxes, and Include Bounding Box Midpoints are enabled. So first we're going to create the light pink background. So we take the rectangle tool, we set the stroke to none, and we set the fill to light pink. I will add the color codes in the description below so that you can follow along. And then we go ahead and we create a square all over the composition. So now we have the light pink background. The next step is going to be to create a flower. So in order to do that, we take the cloud tool. We set the number of bubbles to 5, and we set the fill color to purple. And then, starting from the middle of the composition, and while holding Ctrl and Shift to expand from the center and keep the 1:1 proportions, we go ahead and we create a cloud of about 600 by 600 pixels in dimensions. And then we're going to diminish the inner radius to around 65%. So this makes it look more like a flower. And then we're going to create the inner part of the flower. So in order to do that, we take the pen tool, we set the fill to none, we set the stroke to white, and we set the stroke width to 1 point. And then we add a node in the middle of the composition. And then while holding Shift to keep it on a straight line, we go ahead and we create a line like this to about halfway to the extremity of the flower. And then we go here, and as end, we select Circle Solid. And then we're going to duplicate this line to create the remaining part of the inner part of the flower. So we go here to enable Transform Origin, and we set Rotation Center in the middle of the composition. We press on Enter to bring out the Move Duplicate panel. We check on Duplicate. We set the number of copies to 17 and the rotation angle to 20 degrees. So now we have created the inner part of the flower. So the last step is going to be to create the dots at the corners of the composition. So we take the ellipse tool, we set the stroke to none, and the fill to light purple. And then while holding Shift to preserve the 1:1 proportions, we go ahead and we create a circle of about 150 pixels in dimensions. And then we select it with the Move tool, and we position it at the corner of the composition so that its midpoints on its bottom and right extremity snap to the composition. And then we press on Ctrl J to duplicate it. And we position the other circle at the other corner of the composition. And then we select both circles, and we press on Ctrl J to duplicate them. and we position them at the bottom corners of the composition. Alright, so now we have created the tile. The next step is going to be to export it to use it for a pattern fill. So we go to File, Export. We set the file type to PNG and area to all document, and we click on Export. And then we go to File, New, and we create a new composition. We take the rectangle tool, we set the fill and the stroke to none, and then we go ahead and we create a rectangle all over the composition. We select the rectangle, we take the vector float fill tool, we go to Set Bitmap Fill, we select the tile that we just created, we click on the composition and this creates a pattern fill. And then we can adjust the handles to make the pattern bigger or smaller. Alright, so that was it for this tutorial. You learned how to create an Ume pattern in Affinity Designer. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something from it. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Affinity Designer tutorials in the future. And until then, see you next time. Bye!